how is it original? Membership exists to everybody who lives, works, or owns property in the neighborhood.
Okay.
The original document, so the property owners who did not happen to live in the neighborhood or work in the neighborhood had a voting right. That right should be maintained in the new document.
Okay, and what if we're not in compliance with 317A?
How is the original language not in compliance?
What we're saying is, we're saying in order not to get into trouble, because part of this came out of the court case.
Yes, I'm fully aware of what came out of the court case, Dennis. I was there.
Okay.
I was one of the people who was a defendant.
Okay, fine. So all we're saying is we will live within the state statute. Okay, all right.
Well, so my question is, how does the original language
make your amendment
non-compliant with the statute? In what way is that language not compliant with the statute?
More clarity.
Well, how about if we were to consider this? We would state what JACC would consider for membership, and then it would say subject to the state statute that you've mentioned, so that the state statute would prevail if there was a conflict between our verbiage and the state statute.
Actually, yes, there I have a problem with that.
Let
me discuss this a little bit further. If there's a conflict between our bylaws and state statutes, the statute is going to trump it anyway.
Well, but it might just mean we could lose funding or accreditation.
No. So, but what I also want to avoid is in this document writing in just C document. It's another, just insert referring people to other documents. Everything that we need should be in here. It shouldn't say you have to go to this website and look this up to see what this means. This is a government's document that should not have to refer to other documents.
It's supposed to be understandable by the membership of the organization, not send them to the library for a week.
Looking up laws. If there's a conflict with existing statutes or future statutes, the statutes will always win over our bylaws because we're subject to the laws of the state of Minnesota.
What the amendment is going to be? What would you like to see inserted as an amendment?
And property owners.
Membership exists.
Well, first, membership exists.
I really didn't understand the proposed amendment because it said live or work in the neighborhood and prove residency.
Should I read it again?
Well, yeah, go ahead. Don't just that.
Membership will be conferred upon individuals who live or work within the Jordan boundaries and can prove residency in accordance with requirements pursuant to Minnesota Statute 317A 441B. So all we're trying to say is we will comply with the Minnesota statute. We can make it,
So how would somebody who works in the neighborhood prove residency subject to a statute?
It doesn't say that you have to.
It suggests
I think it
says it implies that
it says live or work. It doesn't say live and work. It says live or work. That's open. And prove residency
within the Jordan boundaries and prove residency in accordance with the requirements. Okay, well, would you like to have a different amendment?
Well,
I'm good. Which amendment do you want to put in?
I understand. You couldn't be more open. But we're referencing, as to his point, we're referencing a statute that not necessarily everybody in the room, we don't have it in front.
It's applicable on the residency portion of the description, but it's not applicable to the rest.
Ideally, I would membership, eligibility for membership or membership is subject to, or membership is conferred on those who live, work, Okay.
This is what it says now. That's what we're at right here.
See, it seems that there are two steps. You must live and prove residency, or you must work and prove residency, because it doesn't say or, it says and.
The point about the residency
Yes.
is that as a nominations committee, right now, you say, you know, anybody can come along and say, I want to be on the board, right? And they file a form for nomination. Part of that process is to show that you actually live in the neighborhood. Proof of residence, i.e. otherwise to...
So it's hence live in the neighborhood. So, for instance, a certain landlord who has a certain property in the neighborhood would not be eligible because he does
Under
not live in the
317, I believe the property is in...
as a resident.
Well, can we modify it so it says live or work?
Again, put it on own property. I'm good. I mean, it's your...
Yeah.
What do you want to change?
Right.
What's the amendment you want to put in?
That would be my amendment then.
Okay.
I would say amend it so it says live or work or.
I like that.
And then you can keep your statute because it covers everything.
No, well, I just really think that you guys are forgetting the elderly, who they might send their relatives to a meeting, and they're also excluded, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
A relative of somebody that lives in the neighborhood is not eligible to be a member.
Or maybe they just want to come speak and they'll still hear what I'm hearing.
They can come to an
I
open
mean,
meeting
they
forum,
can
but
come
they
to
can't
open
be a
meeting
voting.
forums.
I never believe you told me, because I didn't live in this neighborhood, I had no right to make a comment, but I noticed that some people are. So I mean, I appreciate you being, you know,
We're trying to
nice
be
about it, I want to.
open about it, but if you look at the way the laws are in the state, the way we're supposed to be, only people that are supposed to be making comments on these are people who actually live here because they're their bylaws. You don't want people coming in from St. Louis Park or wherever and writing our bylaws for
I
us.
think the elderly, if they had kids, there's a lot of people in our neighborhood who just have no access to the internet, and these are elderly people I'm concerned about. And I'm just saying that,
You came here to cause trouble. You didn't come
No,
to...
That's not very
some
friendly
people
to say.
won't work with me. Damn right I'll cause trouble if you cause
Well,
trouble.
I would like to suggest and posit
You're damn right, that
that if
doesn't hurt my
she,
feelings in the
if she, yeah.
You cause some out.
Would you hold me, because I
I'm
think,
sorry, Keith.
I'd like to suggest that if you lead an organization with membership in Jordan, then maybe you work in Jordan.
Right.
Exactly.
We got what you mean, he's talking to. Exactly.
Yeah, so that
Thank you,
maybe,
Keith.
it's possible that if this woman leads an organization with membership in Jordan, then her job is in Jordan. If that's an issue, pardon me, Dennis, but if that's an
I
issue,
get it, I get it.
maybe it should be defined in the bylaws.
That's what we were trying to do.
That's
here.
Okay.
what
We're trying to
works
define
in
something
Jordan.
that says, okay, I walk through the neighborhood once a month, right?
And pass out a flyer or something.
Exactly. I work in the neighborhood,
It's fine, yeah.
right? So somewhere you got to say, you work or you don't work, or everybody works here.
So a threshold.
That's what we were trying to drive at with this, that says, these are really people who live, work, and care about the neighborhood. They have a vested interest. It isn't anybody that just decides to pop into the neighborhood and all at once, oh yeah, I did flyers, I work in the neighborhood. Hey, I'm a drug dealer, I come in from Broken Park, I work in the neighborhood. Theoretically, under that guise, it works, right? I pedal on 26th